Have you ever wondered what happens with models after you're done modeling them, and why no one is talking about it? Do they become sentient and just beat up their own creators? I thought a lot about it and somehow I ended up finding the answer. Main liver lover here. So, what is this about? When I was learning how to make a VTuber come to life, one thing that I kept noticing is how little people talked about the Unity part. They usually just describe the process in Blender. Modeling, texturing, rigging, weight painting, but what about Unity? I want to know about Unity! Please tell me what to do! I'm desperate! Please teach me! I cannot vouch that I will give you a tutorial. I'm really not someone who is capable of teaching others about anything, really. The gnomes stole my brain matter and replaced it with soup long time ago, so I cannot retain any information whatsoever. The only useful bib and bob I can provide is that cool meme I found. However, I will be sure to share my experiences and struggles as I go. The model you see me working on is actually a reworked version of something I made before. I'm a bit shy to show it since I'm not that proud of it anymore. It's been a while since I created it. However, I'm always up for embarrassing myself on the internet and showing how much progress I've made over time. This model was made for an Italian streamer called Volpescu. I was introduced to him through VODs, where he was reacting to various street food, and I always found him quite entertaining. He mostly shows his face on streams, but at certain points, he has this little guy in the corner named Kiko. I think he's adorable, which is why I made him the first time and naturally why I decided to remake him now. What you're seeing is me creating expressions for the model. If you saw my last video, you know that to have a VTuber model, you need to have functional blinking as well as mouse movements. I added a couple of expressions along with cap and headphones. All of these are toggles and can be added or removed with shortcuts at any moment. These features make the model feel alive and give it a personality of its own. The other question arises, why am I showing this? Isn't it supposed to be a video about Unity? To be honest, I just recorded it and wanted to show it off. But I also kind of wanted to stall for time. But no, this all had a bit of a purpose. I wanted to show you one little interesting thing before we move to Unity. And that thing is a rig I created for this model. Doesn't it look a little weird to you? Huh. I wonder why. So, another question then, what's up with the rig? The rig is designed this way because the model is not a humanoid. To be a VTuber, as far as I know, you need to be humanoid. The way this rig is constructed is that the model itself has only one bone for the head, to move the head, and one bone for the neck to move the rest of the body. The remaining parts of the rig are shrunk and placed below the model, so Unity still recognizes it as human. This is something I noticed when created doing a really long time ago on accident, and it really carved into my brain because I saw it was kind of genius. The additional bones in the legs are just for the wiggle, because he's cute like that. I am not gonna lie, the part in Unity is not hard at all. The main problem is that it can be tedious and absolutely frustrating, even infuriating at times, but there's nothing that cannot be fixed and you totally shouldn't be scared of it. I even believe that Unity is scared of me most of the time. When you export an FBX file from Blender, you can just drag it into Unity. Once you click on it, you need to let it know that the model is using external materials and then the rig is humanoid. Remember, we need to trick Unity at all times into thinking that we do, in fact, have a human here and not a bird. It is, in fact, very much a human, and we will confirm that by assigning the bones to the rightful places. After you're done assigning materials and very human bones to your model, you need to drag it into the scene and export it through VRM window at the top, which you don't see in my recording. The main thing here is that you need a VRM package, which you should download and drag into Unity as well. Otherwise, the next steps will be impossible to complete. You see me doing it all in Unity version 2019, but that's because some aspects of VTubing were a bit stuck in time, as well as VR chat avatar configurations. However, it's all updated now and you shouldn't worry about working in a newer version like 2022, which I definitely recommend, especially if you use VTuber models in Warudo like I do and not in VCFace. There's absolutely nothing wrong with VCFace, in fact I love it. It's simple, doesn't overload your PC, and it's super easy to use if you're just starting with VTubing. I actually recommend it if it's your first approach to something like this. However, after a bit of time, I totally suggest switching to Warudo since it offers more possibilities and freedom of expression. After exporting the model as VRM, you need to import it back into Unity. Yahoo! Let's go! Why do we need to do that? It's for expression and wiggle bones. This is also where everything tends to break, which is exactly what I've been mentioning from the start. We love repetitive tasks. They feed my tism. For expressions, you need to assign every blend shape one by one to each of the elements and add more if you have additional ones. Good luck to those people with the AR kit! Thankfully, my human model doesn't have ER kit and has basic setup, except for some additional emotions that didn't take me too long to add. For the wiggle, we need to add a script called VRM Spring Bone. Here, everything is super simple. You just find the bones that need to jiggle wiggle and drag them into the window of the script where it says root bones. You can also adjust the gravity and how much you want them to jiggle. Remember that in Warudo or VCFace, the jiggle will be way less pronounced than it is in Unity, for better or for worse, and it might need some adjusting. If you look at this footage a bit more closely, you will notice that the things start to get a bit stinky here. I'm trying to do something, but I can't. And I start to feel panicky, thinking that I broke Unity to the point that I need to restart the entire project. In fact, I ended up deleting every file in the project and re-importing everything. After that, I did actually restart it, and I still couldn't fix the issue. It started to feel like that Game Grumps bit, and then I fired, and then I missed, and then I fired again, and then I missed again.
I missed both times, and then I fired, and I missed. This went on for several hours, and then I fired, and then I missed.
You can ask me, what was wrong? What was I trying to fix? How did I fix it? I needed to fix some blend shapes since I tested them and some of them didn't convince me and looked kind of weird, so I just wanted to tweak them, but it wouldn't allow me to open the window where I could do so. It was just simply stuck at one thing and one thing only. And why I didn't want to open the window? It was so stupid and I feel so embarrassed about it. When you want to assign spring bones, you need to put a lock on this menu so it doesn't switch to something else. Do you see where I'm going with that? Right. I locked it and forgot to unlock it. So I spent about 30 minutes going clinically insane over one tiny lock icon. Yes. And this is exactly one of those frustrating moments that keep happening sometimes. Is it small, stupid, and something I could have noticed 30 minutes earlier? Yeah, of course, but where will be the fun in it? The last part of all of this is actually testing if everything works. I import into my scene in Warudo and do a quick setup. To be honest, I always click on basic setup when I upload a new model, mostly because it's easier to set it up that way instead of doing it manually. I still need to change some things in the facial setup in media pipe and tinker with the nodes, especially the ones that detect my mouse movements. For example, the model of myself that I use has some trouble with that, but it's also literally the first model I rigged, so it's not up to my improved skills and is lacking. When you're in Warudo, you can check for any mistakes. I usually try to push the model as much as I can to see if everything works. You never know how the person who will have the model will end up using it, so you need to always test it before giving it to someone. Movements and expressions are all important. I'd say that the part when you get to Warudo is one of the most fun since you see the model come alive. I spend a lot of time just goofing around and having fun, trying every little thing over and over again. I'm really lucky that I can enjoy goofing around as my job sometimes, as I've been very lucky with my commissions. I often model things that I actually enjoy spending my time on and bringing them to life. On the other hand, this work also connects me with people I like spending time with. People who are kind, patient, and have amazing ideas, as well as those who have a lot of influence, with whom I also had the luck of working. All of this makes me want to create more and makes me really inspired. And on this note, I want to show you a...
Ciao Chantako, grazie ancora, grazie di cuore. Dovrebbe esserci, ecco che arriva. Eccolo qua. Buonasera a tutte. Buonasera a tutte. Buonasera a tutte, ragazze. Sono tornato dopo tanto tempo.
Yes, as you see, Pascu himself is using my model on his stream. And that's what I'm talking about. It's insanely gratifying to see your work being used and appreciated by many. And not only this, I also got a call with the man himself.
How large is it?
Okay.
Oh, make him cry. Yeah! Look at him go!
And there should be transparent.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Well, I failed. I did the same thing as every other YouTuber does. I promised to talk about Unity, and I totally didn't. Who am I kidding? It was never about Unity, or Blender, or Works. As always, my video have a secret hidden ending with deep lore and meaning or something. It's always about you, and I hope after this you, yes, you who's watching this video won't be as scared to pick up a new project or finish an old one and forgotten one that you were so passionate about and try out yourself in Unity or Blender or even any other media if you're a flat arter or something. And create more things because it always leads to great stuff and I want to see you create and make things. Thank you so much. Toodles. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye-bye.